Archangel Michael says, "This is not a drill, it's an emergency. Jesus is calling you to know this secret before tomorrow." In the stillness of your heart, in the moments when you're overwhelmed by the noise of the world, there is a soft and powerful voice calling you. It's a call that doesn't come from the earth, nor from any man, it comes from the Lord Jesus Christ Himself. This isn't something to overlook. This is not something to save for later. This is not a whisper to be ignored. It's a divine and urgent invitation from heaven straight into your soul. A reminder. A plea. A light cutting through the darkness. Jesus is reaching out His hand to you now, not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There are moments in life when everything feels heavy. You carry the weight of silent battles no one sees, unanswered prayers, disappointments that keep echoing in your heart, and wounds that no one else understands. But even then, there is someone who sees you, who knows your heart better than you do, and who walks every step beside you, even when you feel completely alone. That someone is Jesus. He has not left you. He never will. There's a reason He's calling you so urgently now. He knows what's coming ahead. He sees what's around the corner, and in His perfect love, He longs to shelter you, to prepare you, and to awaken your spirit to something far greater than the sorrow you've known. You might be thinking that you're not worthy. You've made mistakes, you've fallen short, maybe too many times. But Jesus is not calling the perfect. He is calling the willing, the broken, the tired, the lost, and the ones who have quietly suffered, hoping someone might still believe in them. He sees through the layers you hide behind, and what He sees is someone He loves beyond measure. He gave His life not for saints, but for sinners, for you, for me, for all who would choose to walk into the light, even if they're trembling. This emergency is not about fear. It's not about panic. It's about urgency, yes, but the kind that flows from deep, powerful, eternal love. It's a call to return to what truly matters. A call to remember that everything you've been chasing won't satisfy your soul. Only Jesus can. You've been searching, and maybe you've tried to fill the ache inside with people, places, achievements, or distractions, but none of them stay. None of them heal. None of them restore like the love of Christ. This is the secret He's asking you to know today, not tomorrow. That your soul is yearning not for more things, but for more of Him. His peace. His truth. His embrace. A powerful 9-word prayer once classified by secret agencies has now leaked, and it's quietly rewriting destinies. In under 30 seconds, it reprograms the mind to attract wealth and dissolve scarcity. Users are reporting surprise income, restored hope, and financial peace. But this page might be deleted at any time. Click the link now before it's taken down without warning. He is not far. He is not distant. He is standing right beside you, gently knocking on the door of your heart, waiting, not to judge you, but to heal you. Not to scold you, but to lift you. Not to shame you, but to love you, fully and forever. He is the God of second chances. Of fresh starts. Of lost sheep coming home. And He's not waiting for you to be perfect before you come to Him. He's asking you to come as you are, mess and all. Because that's the beauty of grace, it reaches into the ugliest parts of us and transforms them with love. Type Amen if you believe. Maybe you've heard about Jesus before. Maybe you've grown up with his name, sat in churches, listened to people talk about him, but never really known him for yourself. This is your moment to change that. This is your moment to stop knowing about him and start knowing him. To feel his presence in your life not as an idea, but as the beating heart that keeps your soul alive. He's more than a story. More than a symbol. He is real. And he is alive. And he is calling you, not just to believe, but to belong. To live with him, walk with him, and discover the deep, unshakable peace that only he can give. Let his voice be louder than the chaos around you. Let his love be stronger than the doubts that try to drown you. This world is loud, and it's easy to lose sight of what matters. But when Jesus speaks, there is stillness. There is clarity. There is warmth that fills the cold corners of your heart. And he's speaking now, saying, "Come to me. I will give you rest. I will give you life. I will give you love you've never known before." The secret Jesus wants you to know before tomorrow is this: he already knows everything about you, and he still wants you. He knows your secrets, your failures, your fears, and none of them are enough to push him away. On the contrary, they pull him closer. He didn't come to this world for those who had it all together. He came for you, right in the middle of your confusion and struggle. You are exactly the one he's calling. This isn't about religion. It's about relationship. It's about coming home to a place where your soul finally rests, where the ache stops aching, and where joy begins to take root again. It's about feeling safe again. Hopeful again. Alive again. Jesus is the door to that life. You don't have to walk this path alone anymore. Not one more day. He's ready to lead you. You just have to say yes. He's not asking you to have all the answers. He's only asking you to trust him with your heart. To let him in. To sit with him, talk to him, and little by little, watch your life begin to change, not because of what you've done, but because of what he already did on the cross. He paid the price. He bore the weight. He carried it all, just so you wouldn't have to. You're not forgotten. You're not invisible. Heaven sees you. Heaven hears you. And today, the voice of heaven is calling you to rise. To come alive. To know that love has a name, and that name is Jesus. The Lord sees every tear you've cried in silence, every prayer you've whispered with trembling hope, and every moment you've felt like giving up. He knows it all, and still, he chooses to draw near to you now, not later. What he wants you to know before tomorrow is not just important, it's life-changing. There is a truth he is placing in front of your heart today, and it's wrapped not in fear, but in deep and unshakable love. Type 222 if you believe in Jesus Christ. There's something about the quiet hours of the night when everything around you is still, and yet your mind keeps spinning. In those moments, you've asked questions that you haven't told anyone else. You've wondered if things will ever truly change, if healing will ever come, if joy is still possible after all the loss. And while the world offers temporary answers, Jesus offers something far more beautiful. He offers himself. He doesn't give you peace the way the world does, with conditions and expiration dates. He gives peace that anchors your soul and reminds you that you are never forgotten. Jesus is calling you now because he knows how much your heart needs him. He knows that you've tried to be strong, even when you were falling apart. He knows how often you've smiled through your pain, how often you've kept walking even when your feet felt like giving up. He knows. And still, his hand is reaching out. Not just to comfort you, but to guide you into a deeper life, one that breathes with purpose, filled with his grace, and held by his promises. You don't have to carry the weight of everything anymore. You don't have to pretend you're okay just to get through the day. Jesus is not only your Savior, he is your healer, your shepherd, your friend, and your rest. He longs to hold you, not just on the good days when you feel close to him, but on the days when you feel farthest. He doesn't ask for perfection. He simply asks for surrender. For the heart that says, Jesus, I don't have it all together, but I give you what I have. And he will take that offering and pour his love into it like water into dry ground. So many people walk around with a silent ache in their chest, hoping that something will finally make them whole. But wholeness doesn't come from the outside. It starts within, when Jesus is invited into the center of your life. When you make room for him in your ordinary moments, your decisions, your relationships, your thoughts. That's when the shift begins. That's when darkness starts to break. That's when the light gets in. He doesn't force his way in. He gently waits for your yes. Type 555 if you trust Jesus to lead you. The world may try to drown out his voice with distractions, fears, and noise. But if you quiet your soul even for a moment, you'll hear him. He speaks in the gentle breeze of hope. In the silence that feels safe instead of empty. In the warmth you feel when you didn't expect to feel anything at all. That's him. That's Jesus, making his presence known in the most tender ways. Not to scare you into faith, but to draw you into love. Maybe life hasn't turned out the way you thought it would. Maybe you've lost people, missed chances, made choices you regret. But Jesus never measures your worth by your failures. He sees beyond your past. He sees what you can become when you walk with him. He sees beauty where you see brokenness. He sees potential where you see pain. And he's calling you to rise, not in your own strength, but in his. There is something sacred about a person who finally surrenders to God, not out of fear, but out of deep longing. There's something powerful about a soul that whispers, I need you, Jesus, and means it. That's when transformation begins. That's when the chains start to fall. Because Jesus doesn't just rescue you, he renews you. He rewrites the parts of your story you thought were over. He takes what was meant to destroy you and uses it to build you into someone stronger, someone softer, someone more like him. The secret Jesus wants you to know is that you're not waiting for love, it's already chasing you. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to beg for it. You just have to open the door. This emergency isn't about a ticking clock, it's about a tender urgency from the heart of God who can't bear the thought of you walking another day without knowing how deeply loved you are. You don't have to understand everything right now. You just have to take the first step. And He'll meet you there, like He always has, like He always will. There is healing in His name. Not the kind that erases all your memories, but the kind that gives new meaning to your wounds. He will walk you through your sorrow, sit with you in your grief, and help you breathe again after the storm. This isn't a temporary fix. This is a holy rescue. A divine embrace. A grace that doesn't run out. You may not have felt Him in a while, but that doesn't mean He left. Sometimes the silence is where the deepest love begins to speak. Let this be the moment where you say yes. Let this be the moment where you stop waiting for the right time. This is the right time. This is your moment with Jesus. Right here. Right now. Let your heart soften. Let your walls come down. He's not here to break you. He's here to bless you. And the miracle isn't just coming, it's already begun the moment you turned your heart back to Him. A divine purpose has been woven into every detail of your existence, and Jesus is inviting you to see it, to believe it, and to walk in it with courage and hope. Type 1919 to receive miracles in your life. There are times when the weight of life becomes too much to carry. You wake up with questions that feel heavier than your own body, trying to find meaning in the chaos, longing for peace in the noise. You may smile for the world, but inside, you're holding on by a thread. And yet, even in those silent battles, Jesus is near. He sees what no one else sees. He hears the thoughts you never speak. He understands the ache in your chest that never goes away. His love doesn't come with conditions or limits. It wraps around you even when you feel unworthy, even when you can't find the words to pray. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. When Jesus looks at you, He doesn't see your mistakes. He sees the child He created, the soul He died for, the life He wants to restore. There is nothing too broken for Him to fix, nothing too lost for Him to find. He doesn't ask you to have everything together. He simply wants your heart. Even if it's shattered, even if it's tired. He can do more with your surrender than you could ever do with your own strength. The world will try to define you by your past. It will remind you of what you did, who you were, where you fell short. But Jesus looks at you and sees something completely different. He sees what you can become through Him. He sees beauty where you see brokenness. He sees destiny where you see failure. And He's calling you to rise, not by proving yourself, but by trusting Him completely. Sometimes we think we need to earn God's love. We think we have to perform, be perfect, follow all the rules just right. But the truth is far more beautiful. Jesus didn't die for perfect people. He died for those who knew they needed grace. His arms are open for the ones who have tried and failed, the ones who have wandered far and now long to come home. If your heart is weary, if your soul is longing for rest, that is the very place where Jesus wants to meet you. There's a sacred space where your pain and His presence meet. It's in that space that healing begins, not just surface-level healing, but deep, soul-changing restoration. The kind that wipes away guilt, washes off shame, and replaces fear with faith. Jesus doesn't just want to visit your life, He wants to live in it. To walk with you daily. To speak into your decisions. To guide your steps. To hold your hand when the road gets dark and remind you that you're never walking it alone. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. It's okay to have questions. It's okay to feel unsure. Faith isn't about having all the answers, it's about trusting the one who does. Jesus isn't intimidated by your doubts. He doesn't push you away when you're struggling. He stays close. He walks with you, even through the valley, even through the fire. And when you can't walk anymore, He carries you. That's the kind of love He offers. That's the kind of Savior He is. Every moment you felt overlooked, Jesus noticed. Every time you felt abandoned, He stayed. Every time you cried alone, He collected your tears and held them like treasures. Nothing is wasted in His hands. Even the deepest pain can be turned into purpose. Even the most shattered heart can be made whole again. He is the God who brings beauty from ashes, who breathes new life into places you thought were dead. Maybe you've tried to fix things on your own. Maybe you've reached the end of your own strength and don't know what else to do. That's where God steps in. That's where grace floods in like a river. When you lay down your burdens at the feet of Jesus, He doesn't just take them, He replaces them with peace. Real peace. Lasting peace. The kind of peace that holds you together when everything else is falling apart. There is nothing random about your life. You were created with intention, knit together in love, chosen for such a time as this. You may not see the whole picture, but God does. And He's been working behind the scenes in ways you don't even know. His timing is not always what we expect, but it is always perfect. And His plans for you are so much greater than what you're afraid of. Don't let your past keep you from your future. Don't let fear stop you from receiving the love Jesus is offering. He is not angry with you. He's not disappointed in you. He's calling you with open arms, ready to lift you out of the darkness and lead you into the light. He knows your name. He knows your story. And He's already written a beautiful new chapter for you, you just have to turn the page. You are not here by accident. If you're reading these words, it's because God is reaching out to you. Not to judge, but to save. Not to condemn, but to comfort. Not to shame, but to set you free. The same Jesus who calmed the storm, who healed the sick, who fed the hungry, and who gave sight to the blind, He is the same Jesus who stands beside you now, whispering, "Come, follow me." This is your moment. Not just to hear about Jesus, but to know Him. To feel Him moving in your life. To experience the love that never lets go. The love that carried the cross, that endured the nails, that conquered death, all for you. Let that truth sink deep. Let it become the heartbeat of your soul. You are worth everything to Him. And He is offering you a new beginning, a fresh start, a forever kind of love. Some days you're still standing only because something deep inside refuses to give up. That strength, that flicker of hope, that whisper that tells you to keep going, that is Jesus. Whether you've known Him your whole life or barely heard His name, He has never taken His eyes off you. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Every breath you've taken has been watched over by heaven. Every road you've walked, whether straight or winding, has been traveled with an unseen companion. Jesus was there when you broke down. He was there when no one answered your cries. He was there when you didn't know how you were going to face another day. And even though you may not have seen Him, He never left. He stood beside you in the silence, cradled you in the storms, and kept loving you even when your heart was closed. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. He doesn't love you because of what you've done or failed to do. He loves you because it's His nature. He is love itself. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to clean yourself up first. He wants to meet you exactly where you are, in your mess, in your doubts, in your pain. He wants to walk with you, hand in hand, into a life that's not perfect, but beautifully transformed. One where your past no longer controls you, where your fears no longer imprison you, and where your heart is finally free to breathe. When you let Jesus into your life, you are not just inviting peace and joy, you're inviting purpose. Your steps become sacred. Your pain gains meaning. Your story becomes a testimony of grace. Every scar begins to shine, not as a sign of damage, but as proof that healing is real. You've survived, not because of luck, but because Jesus has a plan for you. A calling. A future. One filled with light that no darkness can take away. You might look at your reflection and see someone tired, someone flawed, someone who doesn't have it all figured out. But Jesus sees a masterpiece in the making. He sees the one He came to redeem. The one He bled for. The one worth saving. You are His joy. His creation. His beloved. There's no one else like you, and no one else will ever carry your exact story, your exact journey, your exact place in His heart. Sometimes life feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. You try to fix things, hold them together, and make sense of what's broken. But the truth is, only Jesus can complete the picture. Only He can fill the empty places with peace that doesn't fade. Only He can take the shattered pieces of your life and build something stronger, something sacred, something filled with glory. You don't need to have the answers. You just need to let Him in. Type yes to affirm your trust in God's plan. He doesn't rush the healing process. He walks slowly with you, gently, patiently. He teaches you how to breathe again, how to trust again, how to feel joy again. His love is not like the world's love. It doesn't fail. It doesn't run out. It doesn't abandon. It holds. It stays. It transforms you from the inside out, not by force, but by tenderness. Even your most stubborn wounds are not beyond His touch. Jesus is calling you now because He wants to restore what life has stolen. He wants to renew your mind, your heart, your soul. He wants to lift the burdens you've been carrying and replace them with grace. He wants to calm the noise in your mind and fill your silence with His presence. He wants to give you a joy that isn't dependent on your circumstances. A peace that stays even when the storms come. A faith that rises even when you feel weak. He is not distant. He is closer than your next breath. He is with you in the chaos, in the stillness, in the waiting. When you speak to Him, He listens. When you cry out, He answers, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. He works in the unseen, and nothing is impossible for Him. That mountain you think is too high, He can move it. That chain you think is too heavy, He can break it. That heart you think is too far gone, He can heal it. This is not just another message. This is a personal call from the heart of Jesus to yours. A call to come back home. A call to stop running. A call to lay down your fears, your shame, your guilt, and receive what you were always meant to have, unshakable love. You don't need to be afraid. You are not too late. The arms of God are wide open, and they are waiting for you. Let today be the day something shifts. Let today be the day you say, Jesus, I give you everything. Not because you're perfect, but because you're tired of trying to carry life alone. Let Him fill the empty spaces. Let Him lead the way. You are never too far, never too lost, never too broken. You are exactly the one He wants. Right here. Right now. You were made for more than just surviving. You were made to live, to love, to shine. And it all begins when you let Jesus become the center of your life. He doesn't promise the road will always be easy, but He does promise to walk every step with you. To strengthen you. To carry you when needed. To never let you go. Type 2323 if you agree that God is calling your name. The love Jesus offers you isn't cold or distant, it's the kind that kneels beside you in your brokenness. It's not afraid of your mess. It doesn't shy away from your questions. It simply says, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. In a world that often feels harsh and quick to judge, Jesus remains gentle and patient. He looks at your pain, not with anger, but with compassion. He knows the battles you've faced, the ones that left marks on your heart, and He still chooses to call you His. You may think you need to get your life together before you truly come to God, but that's the lie that keeps people distant from the very love they need most. Jesus doesn't require perfection. He never has. He asks for your honesty, your willingness to let Him in, even when you're scared. Especially when you're scared. It's in those raw, vulnerable moments that His grace becomes most real. His mercy doesn't wait until you've figured everything out. It meets you exactly where you are and slowly transforms what feels like a ruin into something radiant. There's a reason you're still here. Despite the things you've been through, despite the setbacks, the heartache, the regrets, your life is still breathing with purpose. That isn't by chance. It's because God is not finished with your story. Even when you felt abandoned, even when it seemed like no one was listening, heaven was paying attention. Angels were standing guard. And Jesus was whispering over you, "Hold on, I'm still writing something beautiful." An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. God has seen the nights you've cried without a sound. He's felt the weight of your loneliness. And even when you pulled away, He stayed close. He never withdrew His love. He never gave up on you. His faithfulness is not dependent on your ability to be strong, it's rooted in His own unshakable nature. Jesus doesn't love you more on your good days and less on your bad days. He loves you constantly, deeply, and without hesitation. Type Amen if you believe Jesus is enough. When you look back, you'll start to see the fingerprints of God in places you didn't notice before. That one moment you didn't fall apart, even though you felt like you would, that was Him. That small burst of peace that came out of nowhere, that was Him too. The strength that came just when you thought you couldn't go on, that wasn't a coincidence. That was Jesus, holding you together even when you didn't realize it. He's calling you now not because you've done everything right, but because He's chosen you for something sacred. Your life is not random. It's not just a string of events. It's a journey hand-shaped by God's love, moving you toward hope, healing, and deeper trust. You don't need to have a grand purpose figured out today. All He's asking is that you say yes to Him. Yes to His love. Yes to His way. Yes to the quiet unfolding of your heart in His presence. The voice of Jesus is not loud or forceful, it's soft, like a whisper on your soul. But when you hear it, everything changes. It speaks life into dead places. It revives dreams you thought were gone. It restores joy you thought would never return. And it always leads you home, back to the place where your heart is finally safe, finally seen, finally whole. You are not alone in this journey. Even when no one understands the depths of what you're going through, Jesus understands. He walked this earth not just to die, but to feel what we feel, to know our pain, to carry our burdens, to remind us that we are never walking alone. He knows what it's like to be rejected, misunderstood, weary, and afraid. And that's why He can be your peace. Because He gets it. And He's not afraid of your honesty. Let yourself rest in Him. Let yourself stop trying to be everything for everyone and just be with the one who made you. Jesus isn't asking for performance. He's offering presence. And in His presence, you will find everything you've been searching for: peace, purpose, healing, love that doesn't give up, and hope that won't let go. Your soul is precious. Your heart matters. And every moment you live is an opportunity to draw closer to the one who created you. He's not asking you to change overnight. He's asking you to trust him, one step at a time. And with each step, you'll discover more of who he is, and who you truly are in him. Let today be the day you stop running from grace and start running toward it. Let it be the day you whisper, even if it's through tears, Jesus, I'm ready. I'm yours. You don't have to say it perfectly. Just say it honestly. And when you do, you'll find that he's been waiting all along, arms open, heart full, ready to walk with you into something new. He's not distant. He's not waiting for you to fail. He's here, now, loving you in ways you never imagined, fighting for your soul in battles you cannot see, and speaking life over you even when you feel unworthy to receive it. That's who he is. That's what love looks like. There is a softness in the way God moves, not loud, not demanding, but steady and full of compassion. You've heard so many voices in life, some encouraging, some hurtful, but this voice is different. The voice of Jesus brings peace. It doesn't accuse, it doesn't rush, it doesn't condemn. It invites. And right now, he's inviting you into something deeper, something eternal, something real. Type 1111 if you trust in God's promises for your life. You've been walking through a world that doesn't always make space for rest. It demands more, expects more, and offers less. But the Lord isn't asking you to strive harder, he's asking you to come closer. He knows how much you've been carrying. He knows what it costs you to wake up some mornings and face the day. He sees the silent strength it takes to keep smiling when your heart feels heavy. And he wants to be the one who lifts that weight, who holds your weary soul, who says, you don't have to do this alone anymore. Sometimes healing doesn't come all at once. Sometimes it's slow, tender, and layered. But every step toward Jesus is a step toward wholeness. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, something always is. Because his presence changes everything. The more you sit with him, the more you begin to feel safe again. The more you talk with him, the more your heart learns to beat with hope again. He is not a distant God. He is here, involved, attentive, and lovingly present in every detail of your life. There's something sacred about choosing to trust him, even when things don't make sense. When the answers don't come. When the prayers feel unanswered. It's in those moments that faith grows deeper. Not because you understand everything, but because you've decided that Jesus is enough. He's enough in the silence. He's enough in the waiting. He's enough even when your emotions tell you otherwise. His love is not measured by how much you feel it, but by the truth that it never stops flowing toward you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. Heaven sees you. God knows your name. Jesus is closer than the air you breathe, and he's not just watching, he's walking with you. Through the good days, the bad days, and every moment in between, he is right there. And his desire is not just to visit your life, but to dwell in it, to live in your heart, to fill every corner with light. Type 2020 to claim miracles through faith. A hidden 9-word prayer rediscovered in a sealed government document is now changing everything for those who dare to use it. It activates your brain's forgotten abundance channel, helping you manifest prosperity in ways you've never seen before. The results: cleared debts, growing savings, sudden opportunities, speak for themselves. Don't wait until this vanishes. Click the link before it's erased from the internet. There is power in the name of Jesus. Not just the kind that performs miracles, but the kind that quiets fear, silences shame, and brings peace where there was once pain. You may not see the breakthrough yet, but if you've welcomed him into your situation, then healing has already begun. Because the presence of Jesus never leaves anything the same. He renews. He rebuilds. He breathes life into what was lifeless and hope into what was hopeless. Sometimes we wait for the big moments, mountaintop experiences, loud revelations, huge changes. But the secret is that God often moves most powerfully in the small, unseen moments. In the quiet surrender. In the whispered prayer. In the choice to keep going. Jesus honors the moments you give him, no matter how small they may seem. He sees your faith, even when it's the size of a seed. And he will grow it into something beautiful, something strong, something rooted in eternity. You don't have to hide from him. Not your past, not your fears, not your doubts. Jesus isn't shocked by your struggles. He's not scared away by your pain. He runs toward it. And he brings healing in his hands. He touches the parts of your soul that no one else can reach. He speaks truth into the places where lies once lived. He calms the storms inside you that no one else even knows exist. The world may try to define your worth by what you do, what you've achieved, or how put together you appear. But Jesus defines your worth by the fact that you are his. That's it. That's enough. Nothing you do can earn his love, and nothing you fail to do can lose it. His love is not based on your performance, it's based on his promise. And his promise is that he will never leave you, never forsake you, and never stop loving you. This is the truth he wants you to understand deeply, right now. That even in the middle of your uncertainty, you are loved completely. Even in the middle of your confusion, you are held securely. And even when life feels like it's falling apart, Jesus is holding all the pieces together, working things for your good, even the ones you don't understand yet. So breathe. Let your soul exhale. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not too far gone. You are deeply loved by the one who created the stars and still knows how many hairs are on your head. That kind of love doesn't fade. It doesn't run dry. It doesn't leave when things get messy. It stays. It comforts. It heals. It transforms. Today, Jesus is standing at the door of your heart. Not to push his way in, but to be welcomed. He will not force himself into your life. He waits for your yes. And when you say yes, he brings peace into your chaos, clarity into your confusion, and purpose into your pain. Don't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. But this moment, right here, right now, is filled with grace. And it's enough to change everything. Let this be the moment you choose to believe that God has not forgotten you. Let it be the moment you realize that everything you need is already found in Jesus. You are safe with Him. You are seen by Him. And your story is far from over. In fact, some of the most beautiful chapters are still to come. Type 222 if you feel the presence of God moving in your heart. Life often feels like a winding road. Some days you walk with confidence, while others feel like you're crawling just to make it to the next moment. And somewhere along the way, you've learned how to carry your pain in silence, how to keep going even when you're breaking inside. But Jesus has seen every step. He has never turned away from you. Even when you felt abandoned, He stood beside you, whispering hope into the hollow spaces of your soul. He has been patiently waiting, not to remind you of your failures, but to invite you back into the fullness of His love. Jesus wants you to know this: nothing in your life has been wasted. Not the tears, not the heartbreak, not even the moments when you doubted Him. Every part of your story matters to Him.